So how do you max out every spec in the game? What's going on? My name is Sid, and well, let me tell you a story first about a streamer by the name of Sidwaj. And see, Sidwaj, while he streams, he gets a lot of people in his chat asking, how do I max out this spec? How do I max out that spec? What event is the best? What method is the best? Even though I mentioned a method in one of my videos very long ago on the best locations in the Crew 2, I didn't go in depth into really explaining on its own the best way to max out every single spec in this game. See, because it's actually quite a convoluted experience, and maybe you might have gotten Hypercar or Street maxed out just by playing them again and again, because those are the more playable casual events to play. I've said play like 5 times now. But those are easy to max out. See, the problem is it's not those ones to max out. It's the problem that the summit, the live summit, turns out that doesn't just use Street and Hypercar. Believe it or not. Because what that uses is Rally Raid, Jet Sprint, Rallycross, all of the specs that you don't have maxed out. And there's a handful of methods. By a handful, I mean like a handful of methods to getting all of these maxed out, and it's so much easier than anyone would expect. Because I did this ages ago. Ages ago. Because I have ventured to complete the Crew 2, and I'd say I've successfully finished the game. In fact, I've played so much of the game that my stat of my playtime has actually reset back to 0, and I've earned almost 200 million. Not to mention the fact that I own almost every car, and I can safely get platinum in every single summit. So when I'm someone with this amount of knowledge in the Crew 2 and this ability to make content, well, all I can do now is pass the content on to you guys in the form of help. See, because now I can help you lot, and I'm going to show you in this video how to max out all your vehicles. And we're going to jump straight into that. First of all, always remember that the link is in the description to the Animosity Podcast, as well as my Discord server. Love making the podcast every single Monday. We enjoy it. It's out every Monday. We waffle on. I love it. You'll love it. And the Discord server, I get to be close to my community, and it's just so much fun interacting with everyone. You know, my videos are out, what I'm planning, and what's coming up. Join the server, and definitely go check out the podcast. And let's get into the video. And here we go. We're in the Crew 2. Now, if I just simply go to disciplines, and maybe not one of those ones, but if we go to here, say the top one, 320, street, let me scroll to the top, there we go, 280, 240, 400, 140, 70, not to mention 230, 80, 220, 160, 120, 140, 250, 320, 270. To finish it all off, to prove that I have every spec maxed out, a grand total of 340. See, how did I get all these maxed out? Did I sit here and play every single spec, play them over and over again, getting them done, getting parts, waiting to get them maxed out, not to mention all the ace sets that I have on them? Did I really sit here and waste that much time? According to my playtime, yes I did. But that's not actually the best method I use. See, there's 2 methods. See, the first one is simple. It's what I exclaimed at the beginning of this video. It's what I went, oh Sid, did you really do this for this long? Because realistically, what you could do is just go through every event, go through the best event for money and followers and all of that, and subsequently, that event would also give you quite a handful of parts. It's quite a handful of parts, or a lot of parts. Yes, Sid. Yeah, okay. Now, a handful of parts is a lot of parts. Yeah, nice. What I mean to say is you still get a lot of parts from, you know, just doing that. Just playing the best events for money over and over again. Not only do you make extra money, but you get more parts. But realistically, if you're not worried about the money of the followers, you just want to max out your cars at that point, then it's going to be annoying if you have to go through all of the best events. And by the way, on screen right now is a spreadsheet that shows all of the best events in each spec for grinding, basically. And but the thing is, because you have to level up your parts start very, very low level, and that can be very annoying to deal with. You have to just struggle using the bad parts, the old parts, try and get by with those until you actually get to a serviceable level where you can do the upgraded rarity of that. I didn't mean rarity, the upgraded difficulty, so you can do ace or you can do hard, and then you actually start making ace parts. But the problem with that is that there's very bad RNG when it comes to actually getting a part better than the one you have equipped. See, if I were to say have a rating 70 rated part on my street cars, and that's what rating my car was, the problem with that is unless it's maxed out, if it's less than maxed out, every single part I get has a chance to be like 5 either end. So I could still get a 265 rated part even though my current car's rating is 270. So it adds a level of RNG that is just very, very unneeded. So what are the 2 other ways, or the 3 or 4 handful of one main way to get good parts, or to at least max out every single spec? The first thing I can recommend is play PvP. See, when you play a handful of PvP events, you get this part, the weekly reward. Now, whichever spec you have selected, the part will be for that spec. It'll be an ace part. Not only that, but that part will be maxed out in that spec. This is very long because you only get 1 every single week. So, I mean, not to mention the RNG of whether you get the same type of part that you already have maxed out, you know. It's useless. So, you can use that, but like I said, useless. The next thing to note is in Pilot, there is Timeline, and in Timeline, there is these parts. Now, the thing about all of these parts is all of them are guaranteed, and I mean guaranteed, like 100% ratio, to be better than the part you have equipped already. So no matter what part you get, whether it be gearbox to exhaust, it will be a better rated part than the one you had before. And this is very useful. However, unlike me, who's maxed out every spec so it doesn't need to, and is on icon 2590, these are very far and few between. You only get 1 every 10 icons, and that's a lot of grinding. You might as well just play PvP to have a maxed out one every week. But there's a thing, because this isn't the only place you have parts that behave like this. See, there's another place you can get parts that behave with this same RNG level where the part is always better than the one you have equipped, and you can do that with live rewards. Yeah, I said live rewards. See, if we look back to the events you can grind, one of them you definitely want to start doing is air race. In fact, when it comes to air race, I would say prioritize getting that done first, because you need a maxed out air race plane, and if you can, grind that little bit more to get these air race set of parts. Live reward sniffer. See, because once you have these parts, these increase the apparition of live rewards by 2. That's double the live rewards. Not to mention that, but I have collector on these. The secondary affix on all of these parts are throwaways. They're not even high percents, but the one that I have on all of them is a maxed out value of collector. See, because collector is just even more live reward apparition. Because the thing with live rewards is you get quite a handful of parts, and not only that, but every now and then, every so often, the Crew 2 will boost live rewards. They add it on Halloween, Valentine's, New Year's, no matter what the occasion, the Crew 2 Ivory Tower will find an excuse to buff live rewards. And this buff means normally twice upon the affixes you already have, again doubled. Whoa, LA loaded in late. Not only that, but there is a higher rarity of parts in all of them. In fact, the time I maxed out all of my specs was I used this method that I'm going to show you guys today during the birthday of the crew, the first birthday, because they buffed the live rewards. So now I'm going to tell you to hop over here to Lake Tahoe. Because see, Lake Tahoe leads you along here and then up around this river where you can keep going, keep going, keep going. You can continue going, you'll keep going until you get to this little area here where you just turn left, and get this. Keep going until you carry on flying directly above the river until you get to this mangled mess, which you'll know because it will be a bit confusing, and you can just check if not, at which point you just teleport right back to Lake Tahoe. You can just be here, respawn, and you'll spawn in the air. Keep going. Have your minimap on big. You can literally be watching anything else except doing this, but just have your earphones or headphones connected. listen to the game. If you hear that ticking, go ahead, hop out, and find that live reward. Then just stop focusing on whatever else, quickly fly around a bit, and try and hunt down the live reward. In fact, while you're doing this, no one's stopping you from listening to popular podcast, the Animosity Podcast, while you wait. And then once you get to this bit, you can just turn and head down here, if I could turn well. And it's as simple as that. You can just fly through, hovering over this river, and I wish I had game audio so I don't miss any live rewards. You can fly through this river, you don't even have to fly through here, and there you go. We already found a live reward. You can fly as high up as you need to, and there we go, live reward. You can just go left or go right, just hunt down the live reward basically, which I seem to be struggling to do right now. And once you suspect yourself to be near said live reward, just go ahead and fast fave and select whichever spec you want. I guess we're doing monster truck, and just continue to hunt it down. Obviously do it when you're much closer than I have, because I now have to hunt it down in a monster truck. Oh, we were close there for a second. It's somewhere for sure. And still lost. Oh, there it is. There we go. A live reward. It's only green, but there's a chance of getting a purple one, a gold one, and a blue one, I believe. And when you open this, I've already got monster truck maxed out for every part, even though it's one there. That's guaranteed to be better, so that completely eliminates the RNG, not to mention how much of a mindless action this is. And the fact that I got unlucky having a green one. I could have gotten a gold one, or, you know, a different one. In fact, mine seems to have glitched here, and I've got two, so there you go. That last one sent to HQ mailbox, but both of these, if my car was not maxed out, would have been better. And you can just continue. Always have north facing the left of your minimap, and you can just switch back to your plane, not this plane, whichever plane you have the parts on, and you can carry on going. But I will say now, just for a final note, is fast phasing. How you want to manage your fast phase. See, if you want monster truck, motocross, rally raid, or rallycross maxed out, I recommend setting those as your fast phase vehicle. And you can use those to hunt down the live reward once you're on the ground. Because these are the ones that handle better off-road, so they're better to run around. I can separate these easily, right? So, rally raid, rallycross, motocross, monster truck, have them set as your fast fave vehicle, and the normal plane you use as your fast fave plane. Now say you land at the live reward, and you need to max out your air race plane, or your aerobatics plane. Have said air race or aerobatics plane as your fast fave airplane, and have a rally raid car as your fast fave car. Use your car to get the reward, and then fast fave once you're next to it to the plane. Same goes with jet sprint and powerboat. Have a rally raid vehicle as your favorited vehicle, your live reward sniffer plane as the top faved plane, and for boat have that. Once you're next to the live reward, just switch to the boat and collect it with that, even though you'll be on land like this, holding A. Now the harder ones get to drift, drag, and those kind of ones. The ones that are cars, but they don't handle the best off-road and they're annoying to use. Now what I suggest you do here is slightly convoluted, but stick with me. So for hypercar, drift, drag, demo derby, the ones that you need to max out that you would have on your favorited vehicle, but you can't use to get the rewards. Well, travel to the home. And when you load in into the home, you can see that here, you would want whatever spec out of the ones I just mentioned. So say I needed my hypercar maxed out, I would set whatever hypercar I have as my highest rated as my favorited vehicle here, which you can just do in the pause menu. However, what you can't do in the pause menu is set a hovercraft to your favorite boat. See, the problem is when you set a hovercraft as your favorited vehicle on the pause menu, it sets it as a ground vehicle. However, if you go over to here and switch vehicle here, you can easily go into hovercraft and set whichever hovercraft you may have as your favorited water vehicle, as opposed to it being a ground vehicle. And now you're set. You still have your air race plane as whichever air race plane you use as your live reward sniffer plane. This works for hovercraft as well, because hovercraft is easy to use off-road, so you can use the hovercraft to take live rewards when you need that maxing out. But for drag, for hypercar, for drift, for demo derby, for those kind of specs that you're not really bothered to be in those specs to get the live reward, you can fast fave to your hovercraft as a water vehicle, and then once you get to the live reward with your hovercraft, you can then just switch to that car and then switch to your plane to fly away once you collect the parts. Really, it's that simple. Maybe wait till there's another boosted event. Valentine's is coming soon. They might do it then. They might not. They do it quite a lot. But that is my roundabout way of completely explaining how you max out every single car, giving you the tips on it, giving you the tricks on it, how to do it, the best way to do it, the most productive way to do it. So if that doesn't deserve at least subscribing and a like, don't know what does. I'm a small channel just trying to help some people out. So feel free to show your support in the Discord, by watching the podcast, by leaving a like and subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one. That's about it from me. I hope you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it. In a bit.